Hey, what's going on, guys? Test the Limit here, or TTL. And today I'm going to go over some prize picks bankroll management for you guys. I had a lot of people, I asked in the last video, I had a lot of people saying that they would like to see it. And then I also had a lot of people asking me what a unit is. So this is just going to be like 3 or 4 slides. I just want to do a quick video and explain how I personally view bankroll management and what units are pretty much, and kind of just explain that really quick. If you're new to the channel or don't know who I am, I provide esports content, League of Legends, and CSGO every single day. I also bet on MLB and NBA, but I don't provide those picks on YouTube currently. I may in the future. But yeah, so let's just get straight into this. First, we have what is bankroll management? So the goal with correct bankroll management would be to never have to redeposit again. So your initial deposit is something you are willing to lose. So let's say you just have $100 that you're willing to lose. You deposit that on PrizePicks. The goal of bankroll management is to not lose that money and to slowly and steadily grow your bankroll rather than just throwing $50 on 2 different plays or $100 on one play, and then when you lose, you have to redeposit. So your mindset would be, incorrect bankroll management would be, let me play $5 on 2 or 3 different plays every day and just slowly grow that bankroll. And if you lose, okay, you lost $5, you lost $10. You're not losing your entire bankroll in 1 or 2 losses. Um, yeah, so it's just not blowing up your account, not going all in, and actually looking at your money. And even though it's not a lot at that time, it may become a lot in the future as long as you keep at it with correct bankroll management and you don't just go too hard on one day. Obviously, it could reap benefits if you go all in one day and it hits, but that is so risky. Like, the risk outweighs what you would get in return by far. Um, and yeah, if you have to redeposit again, that's just burning a hole in your pocket. So you don't want to have to do that. So what are units? A unit in sports betting is the size of your bet. It's a measurement that measures the size of your bet. That's pretty much the basic description. Every gambler will have a different unit size. So let's say 1 unit for me could be $100 and 1 unit for you could be $5. A unit size is based on how big your bankroll is and how safe or risky you bet, you gamble. So my recommendation is playing 1 unit as 5% of your bankroll to allow enough safety and enough upside on your bets to actually mean something when you hit. So an example would be, let's say your initial deposit on PrizePicks is $500. I recommend playing around $25 as 1 unit, which means you might play $25 in a day, you might play 50, you might play 75. Usually I don't play more than 3 or 4 plays. So at max, you'd play like $75 to $100. You could even go as low as 1% and just play $5 per play. But I know that when you hit, it doesn't feel as rewarding when you do that. But that's just the super safe way to do it. And like I said, some people are risky and they'll do like 10%. So they'll play like $50 per unit. It really just depends on what you are wanting to risk. But I recommend, with correct bankroll management, I recommend around 5% of your total bankroll. Um, and that just leaves enough room for you to, if you hit a 10x, I mean, you're making 45% profit on your bankroll, and that's huge. Or if you lose, okay, you lost 10% of your bankroll. Like, it's not gonna be that big of a hit. And that's basically just what units are. If you still have questions, let me know. But it's just a way for, so like, if this company is saying, oh, we're up 100 units this month, that's how they can advertise, right? They can't say we're up 10 grand this month. Because if you are entering and you have $50 to your name, you're not going to be up 10 grand that month. But you could still be up 100 units, because if your unit is $5, okay, you would be up $500 that month, you know? So that's a way for gamblers to say how much they are up without saying an exact dollar amount. Because if two people are comparing how good they did in a month, let's say, like somebody hit 75% of his bets, but he only has $100. Okay, let's say he made 75% profit. He's at 175 now. But then somebody has a $10,000 bankroll and they're up 10% that month. They're gonna make a grand, while the other guy made $75, but he's up 75%. So it's like, it looks like the guy with 10 grand did more because he's up a grand. But then the other guy, he's up 75%. Like, obviously, he did better. And that's just a way for gamblers to say how much they're up or down without putting that dollar amount on it. So that's why I go by units. And if you look online, a lot of people go by units. Just a way to say how much money we're up or down, pretty much. And finally, my bankroll strategy. So my bankroll strategy is to not increase your unit size immediately as your bankroll goes up. So there are win streaks and there are lose streaks with gambling. So I do not recommend, let's say you deposit $500 and you end up growing it to $800 after just one day. I do not recommend going from $25 a play to $40 a play, right? What I recommend is reach certain milestones that you grow your account at. So you deposit 100, you say, okay, when I get to $250, I'll up my unit size. Until then, I keep that $5 per unit. Okay, and then once you get to 250, you go, okay, I'm going to bet $10 or $12.50 per unit. And then once you say, okay, once I get to 500, I'll up it again. So then between 250 and 500, you're keeping that $10 unit size. Then once you reach 500, okay, now I'm doing $25 a unit. And not just immediately as soon as you have a good day, just upping your units, because that's a good way to lose money. Because usually if you're on a win streak, you're gonna go on a lose streak after and lose 2 or 3 days in a row. And you don't want to lose your entire account because of that. I also recommend setting a cap to how much money you have on a sportsbook account, and you just withdraw anything over that number. So this can change, right? So if you deposit $250 initially or $100 initially, and you say at $1,000, I'm gonna withdraw anything over $1,000. That's fine. And what I would do is when you get $950 and you play, and after that day you're at like 1,100, withdraw 100, keep it at 1,000. If you win the next day, withdraw anything over 1,000. Next day, withdraw anything over 1,000. And obviously, if you have enough withdrawn and you're ready and you want to increase that cap, you can. Or if you need to pay bills and you're like, all right, I'm just going to withdraw to 500. Like, go ahead. Like, this is your money, right? Withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. When you are up, withdraw. Do not keep all of your money in the sports book and end up losing it. Withdraw, man. The people do not withdraw, and they need to, because like at least cover your initial deposit so that you're playing with money that isn't from you, you know. And then my last tip for my bankroll strategy is to not have too many units on a single player. So that's why I tend to like do a 2-man power play of like certain players, and then I'll do a 3-man flex of the other players, or a 2-man power play from different players. Because I don't want to have more. I usually limit it at 3 units on a single player. And I always do a 5-pick flex. That's 1 for each player. And then I don't want to have more than 2 or 3 other plays with that player in it. Because then there's a lot of variance with sports betting. Just because, I mean, stats don't lie, right? But there's a lot of variance. And someone can at any point in time do incredibly well or incredibly bad. People have a bad day and have good days. So you don't want to have too much money on a player that looks like a smash play and then that play ends up just losing you money. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much just my bankroll strategy. Setting a cap to how much money I want in the sports book, not immediately upping my bankroll, my unit size, and then not having too many units on a single player. And then if you have any questions, just feel free to comment. I am here to answer all your questions. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time.